Howdy folks, how the diddly devil are you? All you tanking gods and goddesses, and the ones that are non-binary that don't know what they are yet, whether it's a pussycat or, I don't know, their mind boggles. But welcome to the channel anyway, and I hope you have fun and you enjoy my content. And if so, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I've got to get that in early on because no doubt I've got to put it in at least another 2 or 3 times throughout the video. Because that's the way YouTube works. They tell you that you've got to keep promoting yourself. Well, I'm promoting myself. Anyway, welcome to today's gameplay. We are on Mines in the Nomad, which is basically the Charioteer. Now, what's my thoughts on the Nomad stroke Charioteer? It's brilliant. It's a great tank. If you haven't got this one, I would definitely consider getting it. It's got a very accurate cannon on it. It does a fair bit of damage. Well, I say fair, it's relevant to the actual tank itself, but it's a good all-rounder, let's put it that way. You know, for the size of this map being Mines, you'd think that they would do something with that 0-9 line, wouldn't you? I mean, that's just wasted space down there, because it's quite a small map anyway, isn't it? It's, you know, it's just either north or south, and that's it. You've got your 3 lines of attack, which is on the western side, in the middle, and on the eastern side of the map. So there's a lot of wasted space on this, and if you start on the north, invariably you generally tend to win the south. That's just a given most of the time. I just think Wargaming could do a lot with a fair few of the maps in the game, but this one in particular, they could do loads with that 8-9-0 line for sure. But it is what it is, isn't it? You just got to get on with it and keep playing it until somebody in the Wargaming department decides we're going to stop taking money for a little bit of time, and we're going to start addressing some of the issues on the maps. Is that me being cynical again? Oh my, me being cynical. Oh, don't believe it. I'd never be cynical. I'll just try to make it an enjoyable experience whilst watching my videos, whilst expelling my distrust in Wargaming's ethics. Shut up. It's just meant to be fun. It's all in jest. That's all it is. It's all in jest. But as a tank destroyer with not great armour, which the Nomad doesn't have, particularly on this map, there's not a lot of places you can go to. You know, if you start on the south, you're either going to head over onto the one line, or you're going to sit back behind them rocks. And again on the north, this is really probably one of the only areas that you can, not safely, but without being detected too early on in the game, albeit where I'm going to now, this little spot here, if you're trying to make yourself get yourself up there, and a very fast light tries to whiz up through into the middle from the south, invariably 9 times out of 10 you get spotted, and then artillery just have a free rein on you. Oh, can we get this shot in? Can we get this shot in? No. Oh well, there you go. Have you been suffering from loads of ghost shots? I mentioned it in one of my other videos. I've been getting horrific episodes of just misses, but I didn't miss that one. And that's what I like about this tank. The cannon on this tank is pretty epic, really. Pretty accurate most of the time, and it doesn't do huge amounts of damage, but it does enough to, you know, to sustain itself, shall we say. You can always have a fairly decent game in the Nomad or the Charioteer, the Tech Tree line, if you want to go that way. But the good thing with this one is it still makes a bit of credits, doesn't it? And it's like my video on the Grom. I don't know whether you've seen it yet or not, where I'm whinging and moaning about that particular tank. And I still say my attitude hasn't changed, because when Wargaming first came out with the Grom, and even your Unicums will admit to this, the fact is it's more designed towards the more experienced player, i.e. your Unicums, you know, the really decent players that can do loads of damage in pretty much every game that they play, and have free marked all the tanks and all that kind of stuff. And this was my argument, you see. Yes, it's a decent tank in its own right, I guess, in the right hands. But the problem is the masses, your average players, that's what I'm talking about. They're going to really struggle with that tank. And I think it was a bit unfair by Wargaming to make it so that that tank is, you've got to be close up and personal to get maximum damage within 50 meters, and anything sort of like beyond the 150, 200 meter range, the damage significantly drops off. So if you're just an average player, you're going to really struggle. One, if you don't know all the maps, of course, and two, if you're just playing for fun, you don't want to be getting yourself stressed. And as I said in my previous video, for the first couple of weeks when it's been released and everybody's earned this tank through all the ops, that's if you've gone down that route to grind away to get it, I'll play it for a couple of days and then they'll suddenly realise, you know, this tank isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it's great when you get that burst damage and you think, oh, look at this. But realistically, how often do you do that? It's all map dependent with that tank. It really is. It's so map dependent. And I think Wargaming could have made it a lot better. Just reduce the damage down a little bit more and increase the damage from distance. And then I would say that that tank is a viable tank for pretty much everybody. Your average players, your Unicums, because they're going to do good in whatever tank that you give them anyway, isn't it? They go out in paper tanks and still do 4, 5, 6,000 damage. But then that's what makes them Unicums, isn't it? So fair play to them. But I just, you know, it's just something that kind of sits, it just doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't sit well. Of the fact is that the masses of people that play this game are just your normal Joe, everyday average player, you know, that comes on just to have a bit of fun and relaxation and blow shit up. And I think Wargaming are just making it a little bit difficult, and I think they've kind of lost their way a little bit with these new tanks. I mean, I know that they've started that new mode today, isn't it? Was it Many or whatever it's called, where you can earn that tank through it, I believe. And yes, I'm going to be going for it and see if I can achieve it. I doubt I will, but no doubt it might be in the loot boxes or something like that. Hey, this coming Christmas, but we'll wait and see. But you know what I mean about this, the Grom. The first few weeks you'll see lots of them out on the battlefield, and then you'll just suddenly see it starting to teeter out, and you'll hardly see any, and then you're pretty much never going to see them. It's like when they nerfed, you know, the M454, the M54, and all, you know, the French tier heavy 10. They've nerfed that. They nerfed the AMX-50B. They nerfed the Kramwagen, and you don't see a lot of them out there now. Yeah, you still see them now and again, but not as much as you used to. Now, I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Just me personally, I just think, you know, why do they come up with a decision? You know, they say that they look at the stats and stuff like that, and the win rate and the loss rate and the damage that it does and all that kind of thing. And I get that. I do get that. But you've got to give the incentive for somebody to work towards. And I think they tried to give the incentive for the Grom, but in the wrong manner. Because the setup of the Grom, as I said, in the right hands is going to be, it's going to be an absolute beast. So does that inspire you to try and work harder to try and get to that beast mode, as in, i.e. Unicum? I don't know, because most of your average players don't really give a monkeys about that, myself included. I just want to play, have fun, catch up with my mates, talk a load of bullshit. and that's it. I'm not particularly interested in stats. I don't care about my win rate. I couldn't give a monkeys about, you know, oh, I've got to be the top damage dealer on the team. Oh, look at me. I couldn't give a monkeys about any of that. As long as I'm having fun, that's all that matters to me. And I'm too long in the tooth to even get wound up about it. Yes, there are times when it's exceedingly infuriating, when you're taking shot after shot after shot, and it's all either going left or it's going right. It's like a boomerang. It's like a bloody banana, and it's not going to where you want. But then, you know, that's the algorithm saying, you've had too many good games today, so we're going to slap you down a little bit, bring you down a peg or two. And that's fair enough. Not that I agree with it, because I think this game ought to be on merit. If you put the time and effort in to learn the game and all the rest of it, and learn all the different positions of the maps, you should be rewarded for that. And the reward should be that there's no RNG that's going to dictate as to whether you win or lose the game. Look at that bouncing off from the side of an artillery. Seriously? This is what I'm talking about. Algorithm said, not this time. But will I give up? Will I? Bugger like. I'm not giving up. That man is for me, and he's going down. I don't know. It's called filler. But do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I just think Wargaming, this game, let's be honest about it. Graphically, this game is fabulous. Playability, it's pretty decent. The RNG sucks donkey's balls. The RNG is just an absolute pain in the arse. Let's be honest about it. Let's not cut any corners with it. That's exactly what it is. For me, it kind of drags people down to the point of frustration. And I know that Wargaming in their patent said that we'll give a helping hand to those that might be struggling or those that are not having too many good games, because we don't want to lose them. We don't want to lose that possibility of them opening their wallet. So we'll give them a helping hand and put them in easier matches. And if they're doing too well, and then we'll put them in harder matches. And I've noticed as of late that, and I know it's been like this way a long time, but I've noticed as of late that it's always +2 matchmaking. Out of about 5 games, at least 3 of them games are going to be +2. So I don't know what's going on there, because it used to be about 2 out of 5 games, and then you get, you be top tier, and then you might have a 1 tier above you, which was fine because I knew that I could do some damage. But when you're consistently going out in, like, say, the Super Hellcat, a tier 7, and you're in a tier 9 match and you've got no armour and your gun's doing absolutely nothing, it just doesn't instill you with the confidence of wanting to continue trying as hard as you do, just to try and have a decent game and have a bit of fun. I don't know. What do you think? Leave it in the comments below. I'd be interested to read it, what you think of the RNG and all that kind of crap, and what they could do with these maps, how they could change them. Any ideas? And do you think Wargaming would implement them? But anyway, we're coming up to this last shot. Can I get this last kill in? The Scorpion G did a fabulous job, very commendable, and he brought him down a little bit to make him a one-shot for me. But anyway, let's go on to the end plates and let's see how we did throughout the game. So overall, we didn't do too bad. We had 7 kills, did a little over 2,500 damage, which is pretty decent for me on that particular game. And we made a little bit of credits of 72,000, I think it was. But anyway, guys and gals, I'll catch you all in the next one. Remember, hit that like and subscribe and make a comment below. Catch you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.